a lot of people do have a little bit of FOMO because they feel like I could 10x my business, which again, if you just 1x'd your business or 2x'd your business, and then you built on that, like people think that you're going to go from 0 to 100 in no time.
Yeah.
And you know, what's crazy when we had Nick Gurley on the podcast, that housing and real estate data analysis, he said, you know, there's no 0 to 100 overnight. And most tech companies, because he said tech is going to crash. They're laying people off left, right, and center, which is causing these massive problems in Salt Lake, Boise, Austin, etc. Tons of these tech companies lose money hand over fist for like 15 years.
Yeah.
And they've got these massive deficits on their ledgers with their investors. They just keep pouring money into it because if they do hit on an Uber, the sky's the limit. So, you know, people have this unrealistic expectation about, okay, if I start posting or I hire someone to help me be relevant on social, or I hire someone to help me produce a podcast, and it doesn't work in 2 months or 6 months, I'm out.
Or in 2 episodes.
And I think it's just because everyone's got this addiction to that dopamine kick where, I turn my phone over, and even if half my text messages are negative, I still have this many text messages.
One thing, because I want to provide value for you, that I just came across, it was a Gary Vee thing on TikTok. And I think it's relevant for this conversation, but just also for your edification, is the early days of like the Facebook, like social media 1.0 was about follower count. It's about, hey, I'm following you because of you. And what TikTok, with social media 2.0, it's about the following of the content. So like instead of the relevancy is not so much following the person, but following the content they do. So if I'm on TikTok and I watch a woodworking video, I don't even know who the person is, but TikTok is going to know that, and they're going to probably show me more woodworking videos versus like, oh, here's this hot person and I start following this hot person. Well, TikTok is just, instead of, they're going to sprinkle in more of that singular hot person, but they're also going to show me more hot people laterally. But again, though, it's less about the person following and more about the subject matter, which is, it's a new concept. So like, that's why with you and if you're doing roofing, or if we're doing podcasts, we're doing technology, we're doing crypto, you know, that's, oh, look at that. Hey, are you doing a social media thing? Always.
Thinking about it. I mostly just wanted to get the cowboy hat.
The cowboy hat. I'm a hat guy. I'm a hat guy now.
Welcome to Texas, bitches.
Look at that. Influencer fatigue. Are we done with influencers? I think that's kind of what we're talking about, where it's, you know, if I like watching a couple build a house about content about them building the house, I don't necessarily give a shit about them. It's the process of them building the house.
Yeah, greater demand for authentic engagement driven by millennials and Gen Z. And a lot of millennials and Gen Z have a pretty serious DIY, strand to the fabric of their makeup, right?
Yeah, and I don't know about authentic though. I don't know if it's driven by millennials and Gen Z, because again, they're the same people that gave that 15-year-old girl like 200 million followers.
Yeah, I mean, I think authentic.
It's the pendulum. Like people
are sick of
that.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, that's a good point, man. And I don't know. Authentic means something different to everybody. Authentic is going to be different to a 15-year-old than it is to a 50-year-old.
Well, yeah, because authentic in a 15-year-old is trying to become the person they aspire to be, right, whereas authentic to a 50-year-old is just being who they be.
Yeah, and a lot of life experience. That should be. Run that back. Make that a micro clip.